Hello everybody, happy Friday! It's Friday Facts number 386, Vulcanus. Fantastic Mr. Ghost reporting in from the Factorio webpage here. Let's go through it today. So we're finally going to get a planet view here and see what's going on with these planets and how they're going to handle it. Alright, so Vulcanus. How's your Vulcanus today? So they say, hello there! I know a lot of you have been eagerly awaiting some solid information on the new planets. If so, this blog is for you. Get comfy because it's a long one. Oh boy. Oh, and my sinuses are hurting today, so let's hope I can get through this. As you already know, there are 4 new planets in the expansion. Well, it's good to have a reminder because that was a while back that you mentioned that. Alright. We will take an in-depth look at each planet's terrain, challenges, processes, technologies, and new gear, but not all at once. In some cases, the planet content will be split into multiple parts. To kick things off, I'll cover the terrain and natural aspects of the planet that is closest to being finished. Oh, okay. I'll need to be in Game Master mode for this. Games Master, okay. Welcome to Vulcanus. Allow me to introduce this toasty volcanic wonderland, conveniently sandwiched between idyllic novice and the sizzling sun. Vulcanus is closer to the sun than most would dare to venture, but trust me, it's a splendid place to start your interplanetary travels. And there it is, Vulcanus. And in space exploration, if you haven't played that, there are vulcanized planets. You have to get a certain resource from there that is used for fuel and smelting fuel. Pretty cool stuff. You feel your you have to process it further. You process it to compress it to put it on a rocket, and then you send the rocket wherever you need it, and then you take the vulcanite. It's a vulcanite block, so it's basically volcanic material in a block. It's pretty cool. Our journey begins amidst the blazing volcanic mountains, imposing geological landforms that often feature a central lava pit. Oh wow, central lava pit. These fiery crucibles offer a great place to get rid of waste items. Just throw them in and poof, they're gone. It's a glorious puff of smoke and flame. Outdated gadgets, cursed rings of power, maybe even unwanted company. Cursed rings of power, that's a reference to Lord of the Rings. Unwanted company, biters, yeah. I guess that maybe they're referring to that, or maybe someone you're playing with that's getting on your nerves. The high points of the mountains are the desolate ridges that surround the lava pits. This would be a good vantage point if it weren't for the thick yellow fog that burns your lungs and etches your eyes. Further down the mountainside, sulfuric acid geysers billow thick yellow smoke from fissures. The surrounding area is pitted by dry sulfur puddles, while sulfur-stained rock covers a large area. Ooh, sulfur-stained rock. Feel the rock crunch under your footsteps. This area has calcite deposits leaching out of the rock. It can be mined easily by your trusty mining drills, but the many cliffs, valleys, and rocky protrusions render this terrain unsuitable for anything larger than a small mining outpost. Okay, now we have a video here, so let's go ahead and play it. There's a tank they're driving around with. Ooh, look at the sulfur on the ground there. I wouldn't doubt we can mine that sulfur or maybe extract it somehow, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely got different... Ooh, there's lava. Oh, wow. I wonder if you can actually put an item in that lava like they were kind of alluding to there. And I wonder if cliff explosives work. All right, let's carry on here. So, in the shadows of the mountains, the ashlands offer some semblance of tranquility in this turbulent landscape. The thick plains of insulating ash are like cool, comforting blankets. They keep the worst of the heat at bay. Ashlands are the most inhabitable areas, but on this planet, that's not saying much. It's mostly a desert, but clusters of vegetation defy the harsh conditions to claim a precious existence here. The only resource here is coal. Vegetation that was burned in ash long ago. Compressed, heated, and exposed once again. With flat terrain and sparse vegetation, if you're looking for a good location for a base, you won't do much better than the ashlands. Huh. If you're looking for a good location for a base. Interesting. I guess they're talking about like the space you could span out on. Here's another video we'll look at here. Oh wait, this is the same. Oh, there's a little tree there. Oh, so this is a different part of the planet. It's called the ashlands. Okay, so there's different kind of biomes. Oh, wow. Well, that's cool that they're showcasing. Yeah, look, it's flat with some stones. And there's some, maybe some, yeah, those cliffs look like we could get rid of those. Okay. Descending further, we reach the basalt basins, where vast lava lakes and rivers have etched the labyrinth network. There are many safe paths through, but the routes tend to be circuitous. It's faster to go around or over with elevated rails if you can. The lava, aside from being a formidable obstacle, is also a resource abundant with iron, copper, and stone. Interesting, yeah, because the molten lava is kind of a mixture of everything. All right. So there might be some machines specific for this planet to, do smelting and processing. Finally, the pursuit of tungsten beckons exploration deeper within the lava maze. That's why you're really here, right? With unyielding toughness, that little drill you brought won't do much good. I'm sure nothing will mind if you mine a little. Look at that. All right, let's check this one out. Okay, look, yeah, there's the lava pits. Oh, okay, I see. So if you end up in that lava, you're going to lose your equipment and probably die too. Oh, that's tungsten. They just went by. Or whoever. Yeah, so that must be tungsten there. But they say that, they said that you can take this lava and get iron and copper and coal. So yeah, I'm wondering about that. Hopefully they cover that coming up here. I have not read ahead, by the way, because I wanted to actually see the whole thing. Oh yeah, it looks like they ran into another patch there. All right, but who knows what might awaken in the depths of Vulcanus. Ooh, maybe there's a little secret there they're kind of going through. Designing the planet. Okay, yeah, this is a long one here. When designing planets or bodies for a solar system, unless they are all moons, then you'd expect different planets to be different temperatures, with hotter planets close to the sun and colder planets further away. Of all the planets you visit, there should be a hottest and a coldest. It didn't feel right for either of those to be novice. So, as expected, we have at least one planet hotter and at least one planet colder than novice. Okay. And that's the same thing in space exploration. So they're taking a lot from the playbook of space exploration, because they have cold, and you get cryonite from cold planets and vulcanite from hot planets, but there's no lava or ice lakes or anything that you could die in. It's either waterless or water. Some planets have no water and they're cold though, so it's kind of a variant. Vulcanus is the hottest planet, named after Vulcan, the Roman god of fire, volcanoes, desert, metalworking, and the forge. The name is appropriate for both this planet's terrain and the planet's specific technology. Being the hottest planet, I wanted Vulcanus to have lava. I got some pushback on this on the basis that lava worlds are too cliche. Oh, in games. It's not untrue. Planet uniqueness is certainly a high priority, but I had some counter arguments. Okay. That would only be true if the planet was one-dimensional and only about being lava-y. If we don't have parts of the landscape hotter than Earth than as our hot planet, many people would find it underwhelming. The lava would be notable by its absence. Oh yeah. As long as the planet would still be interesting, even if the lava were removed, then it's still a strong design. Adding lava doesn't have to detract from the other features of the planet as long as it's done right. So we have a volcanic planet, but it's more about the ashy plains, the mountains, and the sulfuric acid geysers than the lava rivers and volcano tops. Also, it's worth noting that earlier in the planet's development, there were some additional forms of vegetation, but those were later moved to a different planet so that we could amplify the specific desolate and scorched atmosphere that makes this planet unique and distinct from the others. On this planet, I wanted the different areas to be useful for different things so that you could treat them differently and adapt to the landscape. How many times can you say different in a sentence? 3, I guess. You can't just pave over everything until ultra late game. Oh. So initially, each area has a role. The ashlands are a great place to build because they are flat and can easily be cleared of sparse vegetation. The mountains have 2 critical resources you need immediately, but they are difficult to build on until you get cliff explosives. Okay, there we go. The lava river area starts as an obstacle, but later transitions to be the most important area to mine. On the map, you can see the mountains as a large circular structures, lava basins, and the areas with many lava rivers, and ashlands are the remaining flatter areas with green specks of trees. Oh, interesting. So here's a map view. I wonder if this is how, when you look at this map view, or is this just one of their zoomed out views? Well, that's pretty cool. Look at these lava pools. These are all, I guess these are cliffs. And then there's flat areas between there. That's pretty cool. And these are, this must be the tungsten or titanium. It looks like sulfur, maybe. Over time, the lava has become more of a pivotal part of the gameplay because it provides a lot of new opportunities. It's a new obstacle that you can't landfill for a long time. A new resource and a new way to avoid items. So including lava, here's a breakdown of the resources you have available. Lava gives you iron, copper, and stone. The excess can be thrown back in. Okay, that's cool. Coal gives you coal, duh. But with liquefaction, you can get the secondary oils too. So you can get light oil and gasoline. I'm assuming they're keeping the same cracking recipe. Sulfuric acid geysers give you the sulfuric acid directly. That's pretty cool. Oh, calcite is a new resource which is only useful when combined with other things such as sulfuric acid. Tungsten is an ore that requires some special smelting methods compared to iron and copper. Okay. Might have to, provide some kind of a different material. Forging the planet. Oh, wow, check it out. We got some stuff down here. Okay. The map generation, landscapes, biomes, distributions, etc., was the hardest part of this whole process. I'm sure that I spent a lot more time designing and building the landscape itself than any single thing that goes on it. The task is a unique blend of maths, code, and artistry. Oh, wow. I'll cover more on how this was designed and made in a future Friday Facts. Trying to explain it now will make this post far too technical. One area I can explain quickly, though, is the starting area. Vulcanus has a very predictable starting area compared to Novice, and this is required not to give you access to convenient starting resources, but primarily show you what sort of terrains that these resources appear on. Knowing the terrain associations is important here because, for example, if you want to find more sulfuric acid, then you should be exploring mountains to find it. The starting area has 3 distorted circles representing a mountain, basalt basin, and an ashland plateau. These circles have guaranteed resource patches of sulfuric acid, calcite, coal, and tungsten. The whole arrangement can be rotated and flipped not to look too repetitive across different game seeds. All this is done with basic maths and trigonometry, plus a bit of distortion that we'll ignore for now. If you're learning trigonometry and wondering if it's even useful, yes, it is. This is just one of many ways. Yeah. Okay, we got a starting mountain, starting ashlands, and starting lava basin. Okay. Oh, okay. So look, look. What's this here? They've got stone. This, I guess these are sulfur things. Starting area. Okay, and then coal and coal. Okay. Oh, they got a coal patch here. Looks like they've got tungsten. Okay, so they kind of mathematically shift this around to make it unique. You know, a challenge each different time you play. For the tile sets within each landscape, the nature of the setting steered us in particular directions: rock, ash, lava, etc. But there was still a lot of creative freedom within that. With volcanic rock, for example, there are a lot of different ways it can look, ranging from sponge-like pumice to folded glassy rock that almost looked like melted black plastic. Okay. We used a lot of reference photos to start with the tile sets and gradually shifted them to something more purposefully alien. Factorio is a stylized game, but I try to make sure that when we diverge from reality, we do it intentionally and not out of ignorance. The typical workflow is that I'd either make a sketch of a tile set or gather some reference images. Feargale would make the textures in Substance Designer and Blender. Then we'd go through many rounds of me painting over sections of the tile set and Feargale making adjustments. When things were close to finish, then I do a color correction pass so all the tile sets integrate correctly into their respective biomes. Okay. So these are the different ones. This is like the mountain area. This looks like sulfur, maybe ashlands. Oh, this is ashlands here, yeah. So these are, yeah, kind of a rocky, kind of cool there. Oh, there's more. Oh, wow. Oh, here's the volcanic stuff. Here's more kind of rocky volcanic. That's kind of cool. Okay. The lava requires some special attention. I've made glowing lava in the 1.1 version of the game engine a couple times now, but I had to choose between something that has motion but looks like orange water or something that looks like lava but has no motion to it. For the 2.0 engine lava, Feargale had a prototype lava shader outside of the game and got something looking good using a multitude of texture layers and distortion. Okay, they did the same thing with the trees way back to make them look like they're kind of alive, you know, and blowing in the wind and stuff. Doing it this way around was good because when the shader was implemented in-game by him and Postula, it was already known how many layers we'd need, what gets distorted by what, and so on. A more typical approach might be that the shader was coded by a programmer first, and then the artist would try to work with the constraints of the system. But I'm sure giving the artist some say in the initial constraints saved a lot of time. That's not to say that there weren't revisions. There were many. But we had a lot to do, and saving time with a good workflow where we can certainly helps. Okay, so this looks like the final. Oh wow, it's got the fire and the flames. And it's kind of like, yeah, it looks good. It looks really good. I like it. As many of you noticed from a previous Friday Facts deconstruction planner icon, we have new cliffs, which I didn't notice. Oh my gosh, somebody picked it up. We tried using darker versions of novice cliffs, but that just wasn't good enough. Cliffs for this planet and others are made by Lucas. On this planet, the particular challenge with cliffs is making them visible enough. They're darker objects on darker background. And for the north direction especially, the first versions were very difficult to see. I found that if adding a large fake shadow below the north-facing cliff and top edge highlight on the cliffs, then it would get them into a state. But they are reasonable and still integrate well with the terrain. The trade-off is a bit unrealistic light and shadow, but usability is far more important here. Okay, so they're just going over. Oh, I see. Yeah, they're trying to make it pop off of the surface by, you know, using a shading and stuff. So it looks pretty good. It looks really good. I hate cliffs, by the way. I never play with cliffs. But you won't have a choice in this game, I can imagine. You can see a lot of small and medium craters on the terrain, and they are just decorative, meaning there is no collision or interaction. Okay. They're flat enough to build on without it looking weird. If we tried to make large craters this way, it wouldn't work because they'd either have to look too flat to look natural or they look too steep enough, but placing a machine on the edge would look wrong. Yeah, that makes sense. The solution is to make the craters collidable, but then there are two more problems. The collision boxes are always rectangles, so hitting invisible corners is annoying, and there's a flat part in the middle that looks buildable but isn't. Okay. We also wanted some partial craters, which would mean even more special collision rules. The solution we came up with is more like a ring of special cliffs, where the sections of the ring can randomly be removed. Unlike normal cliffs, we didn't have a special start and end section. Fahrenhall has made sure that all the cliff sections can visually overlap to make full circles, but still look right if they're on the edge of a broken crater. If I find a full circle crater, I like to put turrets in the middle, like a little fort. It's funny. Yeah. Now, they could do this in Factorio right now. I don't know why they're saying this is a crater. But yeah, okay, there's a... I don't know, like, are there biters on this planet? How could there not... That's what I'm confused about. It's a volcanic planet. How could there be life on here, you know? Sulfuric acid geysers are both a regional point of interest and a resource. I designed these areas to look almost like a sub-region in their own right. These areas aren't huge because they are resource indicators, and if the region is too big, then it's harder to find the right spots to place your equipment. Finding the right spots is also made easier by these resource nodes having yellow smoke. Yes, we can have animated resources now. Cool! Jersey has made the acid particles of this section in a couple of ways. Earlier on, we had puddles filled with liquid acid, but we moved to dried up puddles to keep the planet feeling drier. Also, building on shallow liquid acid puddles didn't look right. Okay, I see. So I guess, yeah, maybe you place machines on the acid vents, or you place it on the yellow on the ground. We'll have to see how that works. These thermal vent chimneys are one of the areas we diverge more from a typical Earth volcano. They add a lot of verticality to the terrain when you are exploring and help it feel a bit more alien instead of just extreme part of Earth. The young chimneys are very small. The medium ones are tall, and the old ones have crumbled back to their bases. The landscape doesn't change on its own, but these little touches help it feel like it's a changing world. Oh, okay. So it looks like these are the small. Here's some small ones here, maybe. That one's small. The crumbled ones might be these, I guess. I don't know. Not entirely sure. Yeah, these look more older here. These are bigger ones. I wanted the ashlands to look like a spectral burnt forest with dark leafless shapes looming over you. The trees, if that is even the right word for them, are alive, but we didn't want them to look leafy or anything like actual healthy trees. Presumably, they get most of their energy by breaking down chemicals instead of photosynthesis, or perhaps they exploit the temperature gradient between the bottom and top of the ash. From that point of view, they are maybe more of an endolf fungus, but they have trunk-like shapes and have tree-like roll. So for now, we call them trees. Okay. Well, there they are. So I guess you get wood on this planet or something. Maybe. It's kind of weird. Look at this. They got this burning stuff right here, and there's like trees around it. Ah, here we go. A lot of work has been done so far, but there are still a few remaining placeholders. The obvious ones for now are the tungsten and calcite resource graphics. Those will be replaced soon. Hopefully the others don't stand out too much like the hand-painted decoratives in the ash sand area, because it takes longer to replace those. Oh. Okay, I guess this is the maybe tungsten here, maybe calcite. Not sure. Conclusion. The path tears through ashy barrens and burning trees, winds around lava rivers, and up jagged foothills, crunches through dusty calcite, and splashes through sulfuric acid geysers to the top of a mountainous volcano. Just being here feels epic. Vulcanus is the most developed new planet so far, and getting to the state has been a big team effort involving most of the art team. When we return to Vulcanus, you'll get to see some of the new processes of the planet and how the new resources are used. We'll also show off a couple new structures, one that we've teased before. Can you guess which one it is and what it does? I wouldn't doubt it's the Crusher or something like that. As always, erupt your thoughts into the usual places. Very cool. Well, there you go, folks. We have a new planet. Or we get a look at the planet. We already knew there was going to be 4, Novice and 3 others, yeah. And each one of these had, like this has tungsten and calcite. Who knows if we have to ship that to other planets? You know, the tungsten. Well, we have to process the tungsten. We probably do it here. Then we ship the tungsten somewhere else. That kind of fun stuff. So there you go, folks. We have a look at a new planet. Awesome. Well, I hope you enjoyed the Friday facts and the planet overview here. We'll definitely get more information as we go. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a cold planet and maybe a novice-like planet. So I have novice, hot, cold, and something in between, maybe something very unique that would mix. That would be like all 3 or novice, a variant of novice. Who knows? All right, I'll see you later. Have a good one. Peace out.